How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Steinsgate, my darling's embrace. Last episode, I think we finally got some real good stuff cooking. I think the first two episodes were a lot of kind of setup and establishing kind of our expectations, reintroducing the characters, especially because it's assuming when this came out that there was a decent amount of time between the time when people were first playing Steinsgate and when they played my darling's embrace. So, it did all of that, kind of got it out of the way. Now we're getting back into the meat and potatoes. So, what are the differences in this world line we've noticed so far? Satellite did not crash into the building, although it feels a lot like the Alpha world line. We already know this, I think it's been coined, and I'd even referred to it as the Delta world line, 4.0. But I don't know that for sure. We'll see. Second point of difference. Well, there's lots of little differences, like things that weren't done. For instance, second big point though, we're apparently bankrupt and in debt of some kind. Now, we've seen hints of that in Linear Bound Phenogram, but we have not seen exactly what the whole situation is yet, so we have yet to confirm how similar it is to that. But we'll get there, we will get there. And then, finally, for part 3, the biggest thing that we've seen that's been different, someone's made an eroge game inside this game, which is kind of an eroge, I'm guessing, if not an actual eroge, about the lab mems. But Daru apparently is the star of it, and that was horrifying and awesome and crazy to see all at once. So, I'm excited to see what we get to learn more about it, especially, are we going to learn more about what that is today, or are we going to get caught up in some other crazy adventure? But for now, I guess nothing else to it. Let's jump back into things. Oops, sorry, Mr. Microphone. Let's jump right back in. So we got an email. I swear I opened this before. Yeah, this is about the banquet. I read that at the end of the last episode. I'm not sure why that didn't save. But yeah, so let's continue on from here. When I went to the lab in the afternoon, the curtains in the front of the development room were closed. I assumed that I would find Daru behind them, but instead it was Christina. It seemed as though she had made this area her own personal nest. It's great that she's putting so much effort into development, but whose lab does she think this is anyway? Now, another thing I think I've been noticing is if they're so caught up in making these machines, these new gadgets, I wonder if they're gonna make the time leap machine. I'm guessing they might not. And maybe that's part of why CERN doesn't really kick in the door yet. They're waiting for that to happen. For some reason. But it makes me think that we might not have access to anything but emails, which would make this very interesting indeed. But it would also explain why it's a make choices and deal with the consequences type of game. Perhaps I should remind her. Just before I could raise my voice to do so.
Nani? Nanika yo?
Hey Kurisu, how's it going? She took my turn.
Joshu, お前に一つ話がある。
Yeah?
今ちょっと忙しいんだけど、重要な話なの？だったら聞いてあげるから手短に話せ。
Interesting. Seems like she's in a rotten mood. This is the opposite of how things should be. I need to be direct with her.
いいか、クリスティーナよ。お前はあくまでも助手であり、このラボの責任者は俺だ。
Right, sure. Great direction. She's like, hey, if that's all you came to say, then I'm going back to work.
それで？
え？
だから、それがどうかしたのかって聞いてるの。
Mm-hmm. I think I've made her mood even worse. But I am not easily defeated.
もしかしてそれだけか？
それだけとはなんだ。これは重要なことだ。それを忘れてもらっては困ると。
That found really loud.
それだけか？
Yes.
はい。
He's literally like, yeah.
何？案ずるな。これも作戦のうちだ。心配ない。
Right.
一見引いたように見せかけ、その実、こちらの意のままに操る。そうだ。CIA のマニュアルにもあるあれだ。
Uh-huh. CIA, huh? Let's see what you guys say the CIA is. The Central Intelligence Agency, an information unit that reports directly to the President of the United States. The CIA's job is to collect and analyze intelligence in order to guarantee the safety of the state. They are said to have played a direct part in a host of historical events around the world. Yeah, meddling with other governments. That's certainly one of their big things during the Cold War.
ああ、大丈夫。すべて予定通りだと上には報告しておいてくれ。
Mm-hmm.
ヘルプサ
Else, oh wait, I've got an email. Shut up. That's so cute. Oh man, he's terrified of her. It's really kind of funny. I spoke the words very quietly and slipped the phone into my back into my pocket. I'll just go outside. Can I like look at this yet? Alright, after this I had a choice to go outside, but unfortunately ran into somebody I didn't want to see. Mr. Braun. But first let me check my email. Bye. Doo-doo-doo. Ha! My Yushi's finally done with class. It's time to head back to May Queen. Are you at the lab, Okadine? Yes, but I'm apparently not going to respond to that. Hello.
Okabe じゃねえか。
Yes.
ミスター・ブラウン。
ちょうどよかった。おめえに言っときたいことがあったんだ。
Uh-huh.
言っておくが、昨日はうるさい実験はやってませんよ。
It wasn't me. Alright, part-time warrior. That seems kind of over the top. Banquet makes so much more sense. Anywho, I hope we can have another whatever table conference sometime soon. Did I not just say it was a round table conference? He's so stubborn. Even if I wanted to, Kurisu had completely taken over my lab.
そうじゃねえよ。まあ頼みっつうかなんつうか、そう大層な話でもねえんだが。
Oh, I don't like his tone. That's weird. He blushed ever so slightly as he said this. I found myself taken aback because he didn't strike me as a man who could blush. I never imagined I would ever have to see a middle-aged man acting so tsundere. Oh dear, don't say that aloud. A girl who's usually aloof and acerbic soon, but becomes affectionate dare when alone with her romantic interest. However, the definition has become more broad recently. Tell me about it. It can just mean violence. Hey, I'm back. So, you didn't see it, but I stepped this way, got distracted, and a couple days passed, but we're back recording. So, back to where we were talking to the adult tsundere. Ooh, lovely, lovely. It practically gave me goosebumps. In fact, I think it did. Hold on, there's something else. Did he say he wanted to ask me a favor? My landlord had a favor to ask of me. Luckily, you're gonna get punched in the face. Don't laugh like that.
なんでいきなり笑い出しやがって。
He's gonna get punched in the face.
ミスター・ブラウンよ。その頼みとやら聞いてあげなくもないが条件がある。
Okay.
条件だ？
まず家賃を下げること。それから上でやかましくしてもとやかく言わないこと。それから今後俺のことはOkabeではなくホインキャーだと。
I like how he thinks he's got.
今すぐ出てってもらってもいいんだぜ。
Yeah, he has no wiggle room. He has nothing.
聞かせていただきましょう。
Dang it, he's taking advantage of me. But not for long. Though, until my gadgets make me filthy rich, I will allow you to say whatever you want.
まあ頼みってほどじゃねえんだが、明日からちょっとばかり留守にするからよ。その間注意しといてくれねえかって、それだけだ。
Interesting.
留守。
When I looked down, I saw a small creature attempting to use his large frame and hide from me. Hang on, got a phone text. Ah, from Ferris. Yes. Ferris was super surprised, Neon. Johnny Wolf was shopping in Chirodori with his bodyguards in tow. It was crazy, Neon. Who's Johnny Wolf? Wait, you mean the actual Johnny Wolf? The Hollywood movie star? Not just like some lookalike? Intriguing. Johnny Wolf. Wonder who that's supposed to be a pseudonym for. I all I can think is like Johnny Storm, and that's not a person, so whatever. Alright, let's see. There's
もしか
not.
してこの子をどこかに預けてくるのですか？
バカ野郎！なんで俺が可愛い娘をどこかに預けたりしなきゃなんねんだよ。
Yeah, it was a very silly question, but kind of a valid one. The man looks seriously offended. He should really learn to take a joke.
明日から苗を連れて旅行に行くんだよ。たまには家族旅行をしねえとな。 な、ない
That sounds awesome.
旅行すごく楽し
I bet. Wonder where they're going. Hawaii? She laughed from the bottom of her heart. This girl really does love her father.
ま、そういうわけだからよ。ちょっとの間、頼むぜ。
Sure. Do you expect us to sell stuff, though? I'm not sure Okabe's good for that.
み。おかりんおじさん、お願いします。
A family trip, eh? Well, summer break is probably the right time to do it. Though I don't like her calling me uncle.
じゃ、よろしく頼んだぜ。
Sweet. Mr. and Sister Brown started walking toward the main street, Chudodori. They must have been heading off to get some things they needed for their trip. Though now that I think about it, I forgot to ask where they were going. Most likely a beach or something. It is summer after all. I can't imagine anyone would break into a store full of nothing but CRT TV, so I probably won't have to be too cautious. Huh? Wait. If Mr. Braun's away, does that mean I can do as many D-mail experiments as I want? He's got it. I was wondering if he was going to notice that, but I felt like it was pretty obvious. I probably put Kurisu's endeavors on pause to get back to sending D-mail. This requires consideration. Of course, this might also mean that the CRT TV that activates it as a lifter isn't active. And if he hasn't realized that at this point in the recurring timeline, then they might actually have a big problem here where none of their experiments are going to work for us for some reason. Shortly after talking to the Braun family, I made my own way to Chudodori. Akihabara was full of people milling about, fitting for a Saturday. I wandered over here without any particular destination in mind. I entertained the idea of returning to the lab, but Kurisu's in a very bad mood right now. I would be. Part-time warrior. Don't sweat the details. By the way, did you know there's a bike store in the back of the building? Everything's way too pricey. So, okay, yeah, you could afford was a unicycle. Look, if you're going to change the subject, at least use a newer joke. Bikes, eh? You're a cyclist, right? That's very basic. Pricey. Just for the record, I have no money to lend you. Nah, don't sweat the details. I'm not at all afraid of her, but you don't walk into the cage of a fearsome beast while wearing a suit made out of steak. He's not afraid of her, he's totally afraid of her. Still, it's pointless wandering around here. What should I do? My pondering was cut short by a message. Let's see. Shining finger. Okabe-kun, I'm in front of the Yodobashi in Akihabara, Mooka. That was all it said. Nothing else. Yodobashi is a big electronics store near the station for reference. Could I have promised to meet with fingers today? Not that I can remember. Then what on earth is going on? Forcing myself to figure things out wasn't getting me anywhere, so I gave up. This is gonna meet up with her. I wonder if that's one of those choices, like what if I just ignored it? In front of Akiba UPX. A lot has changed around here. I suddenly reminded of what Daru said. About the band Phantasm hijacking the airways yesterday around noon. There's a big screen up above me. What's this one? From Ferris. I saw him with my own eyes. He was the real deal, Neon. You actually saw him with yourself. Or... wow, I heard he was an otaku, but all hail Akiba, I guess. Someday, Akiba. Someday I will visit you myself. I imagine all the screens around here showing the same footage at the same time. I'm getting emotional just thinking about we, the Future Gadget Laboratory, will be able to do something similar. Another email. Wait, what if I ignore it? The sender is... oh, of course, Shining Finger. Yeah, it's just making it for me. I'm at Akihabara Station. Well, the station's just around the corner. I wonder if she's responding to like a D-mail we send in the future? That could explain this. If she's moving, it's less likely we'd made plans to meet. I have no idea what she's trying to tell me. Again, the interval between messages is getting shorter. I know without checking that's from Finger. I open the message with the touch of a button. I'm near UPX, Mooka. That seemed really fast. She's getting closer. But there's no way she could know where I am right now. Then is this a coincidence? Or... here's another. I'm strangely hesitant to read it. But they're coming in fast now. Could it be? Fear in my heart. I opened my inbox. Okay. I was... Okay, that's just getting creepy now. That's all. No matter how I try, I cannot will any more text into being. What the heck?
今あなたの後ろにいるの。
Alright, Mocha. You don't need to be scaring the crap out of me. Yep, that's a good reaction. I hear someone whisper in my ear and whisper around to see who it was. And there stood Kurisu Mocha. Yeah. What were you thinking, you crazy lady?
驚いた。
Surprise? Yes!
何なのだ一体。何がしたいのだ。
Yeah. Jeez.
姿が見えたから。
Okay.
姿が見えたら驚かせるのかお前は。
驚いた。
Yes! Understatement.
驚いてなどいない。
Oh, sure, sure. Oh, I felt through my heart. I felt as though my heart was ready to burst from my chest.
しかしいくら駅前がそこだと言っても早すぎるだろ
Yeah, I know, right?
う。まさか貴様やはり機関の手のものか。
Oddly, she does, but shh.
期間。
とぼけても無駄だ。その能力ひょっとしてライトニングスピードか。携帯メールの早打ちだけが特技だと思ったが、まさかそんな力まで持っているとは。はっきり言おう。どうやら俺はお前のことを侮っていたようだ。
I remember this is why it was really fun to be able to go through her point of view in Linear Bound Phenogram, because like Okabe's random rantings actually kept putting her on edge because she kept panicking that he actually was seeing like the organization that she assumed was like code for CERN. It's really interesting how much stress it brought her to.
ただずっとそこにいただけ。
But then what about the weird text messages? Or maybe she just did that as part of the prank.
何？
Right.
Huh?
Walking around the area when I spotted you, I just wanted to play a little prank. Sorry, Mocha. So she just saw me there and played a prank on me with her cell phone. That's very forward for Mocha. I'm actually impressed. It's as simple as that. However, I'm not sure how she could pull a prank like that off without so much as cracking a smile. I really don't get her. But something's weird. The Mocha I knew certainly wasn't mischievous enough to pull a prank. Perhaps her personality has changed due to the influence of this world line? What are you doing here, Okabe-kun?
俺か。俺はこの世界を把握するために情報収集に勤しんでいたところだ。
Right. So, nothing. Yeah. Oh, then that means you're free. How did you know so well in this world line?
待て、お前は俺の言ったことを聞いていなかったのか。
Yes. I heard. So you were just hanging around? Okay. How does she know? She just like she doesn't understand. I would happily elaborate upon my plans, but having a conversation with someone who communicates mostly through text is tiring.
とにかく、俺はこれから用事があるのだ。
Oh yeah? Are you sure about that? You literally were about complaining about having nothing to do. Oh! Curse my hand! Okay. Like what? Not really.
なあ、あれだ。実はメイクインニャンニャンで用があって行かねばならないのだ。
Right. I actually just came up with the idea because it's nice and cool in there.
どうした？もしかしてお前も行きたいのか？
そういうところ苦手だから。
Ah, that makes sense. That was the answer I expected. And yet... Well, I have to head back to work. Bye-bye. That's very weird. I was starting to wonder, like, what if they already had, like, a kind of relationship going on in this world line and Okabe forgot it? That'd be really sad, but I don't know if Moeka would realize that he was acting really strangely because in her eyes, he's always acting strangely. She sounded kind of sad when she said that she didn't like those places. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Ominous. After we parted ways, I browsed some of my PC parts shops until it got dark. Though lately, it seems like the heat just lingers after the sun goes down. Who is this one from? Ferris. Yep, Worldly Akihabara. Oh, I got a Triumphant Cat Maid achievement. There are a whole bunch of celebs that visit Akiba when they come to Japan, yeah. Us Japanese really should be more proud of this place. They should be. It's a freaking great place to be. I mean, it looks like bananas, but looks like a fun bananas. Like a banana split. Way too much to eat at once, and yet you can't help yourself. You have to try. Alright, though it seems like lingers after the sun goes down. I set out in search of a cool beverage. I imagined I'd find it at a cafe, validating what I told Moeka. May Queen Nyan Nyan is the cafe where Mayuri and Ferris work. Since it's so close to our lab, I stop in every once in a while. I started walking towards the stairs leading to the cafe and saw a man at the bottom. Another customer? But he's not going into the cafe, he's just looking at it. Besides, this man's so handsome, it looks like he was crafted by Gaia herself. Can't imagine he patronizes places like this. Hang on, this might be that weird... Who's that fellow that Ferris was talking about? Way down here. Whoops, I went too far, I think. Johnny Wolf. When it became clear that he wasn't planning on going in, I started to walk past him. That's when he turned. Oh no, no! Ah, him again. I hate this guy. Every time he shows up, it just makes life terrible. And he's always in the worst. Gosh darn it. As he did, our shoulders made impact. And here comes the next 3 hours of drama. Yeah. His reaction was intense. Gaia's chosen one. He glared at me with obvious displeasure. I am going to ignore you 4 degrees. I'm going to answer my phone. Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Aw, I guess that didn't land very well. He pissed me off, but getting involved with someone like this just can't end well. Besides, it's just let the whole thing go. As I continued my march toward the cafe, he called out from behind me and stopped me. Yes I am. Go away.
Huh?
だとしたら、ストリートという劇場に舞い降りた俺が一つ忠告しといてやるぜ。
Okay, what do you got for me this time, you criminal? He's probably not a criminal, but he always seems to be.
時間と金の無駄だ。なんたってここにはメス猫しかいねえからな。
Well, yeah, a lot of people could. I like his name tag. I love how his name always changes a lot in all of these games. So he's currently the man who calls himself a man who came to this theater called the street.
いいか。これは熱くほどばしる伊達丸の血を宿した俺からの忠告だ。
Sure thing. Now skedaddle away.
この店に行くのはやめておくんだな。さもないとブリリアントな罠に籠絡されちまうぜ。
Oh, what have you done for Ferris this time? Seemingly satisfied, having said that, he walked away, bobbing his head to some unheard rhythm. I don't like that guy. What was he trying to tell me? His words sounded fancy, but they didn't actually make any sense. Well, they kind of did. Like he's implying that something bad's going to happen here. In which case, we probably should go in there. A brilliant trap. I didn't know what he was talking about, nor did I care. I decided to head up the stairs into the cafe. Yes. Yes. This is a classic, but I love it anyway. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. Hello, Ferris. As I entered the cafe, 2 maids greeted me. One of them was obviously Ferris, but the maid with the blonde ponytail was harder to recognize as Mayuri. Happy to be here. Might be for the best. He's kind of weird to talk to in here. Well, he's weird to talk to all the time, but here especially. Just here, were you, Daru? He's a frequent patron of the cafe and usually visits at least a couple times a week. Primarily because he's such a big Ferris fan. Can we blame him? Frankly, can we? No one can blame him. He's always talking about being devoted to his 2D wives, but I guess this is the exception. Oh gosh.
おかえりなさいませ、今日は。こちらの席へどうぞ、だにゃ。
Plus, as we saw, he might have included all of them as his 2D wives anyway. Ferris did exactly that.
そういえばマユリ、ちょうどここに入る直前に変な男に会ったのだが。
変な男？
Mm-hmm.
ああ、階段の下からこの店をじっと見上げていた。ひょっとしたらこの店から出てきた客かとも思ってな。
お客さん？どんな人だったかな？
Imagine somebody watched Mad Max, thought that everyone dressing in that was making a good fashion statement, and decided to just wear that in black leather.
真っ黒な服にグラサンをかけた痛い感じのやつだ。
サングラスに黒い服。今日はそんなお客さん来てなかったかにゃ。
Yeah, Bayuri took some time to think before she answered.
そうか。明らかに何か曰くありげな感じだったんだが。
なんだろう。フェリスちゃん、何か心当たりあるかにゃ？
Bayuri really seemed like she didn't know the guy, but Ferris. Yeah, she's already had run-ins with him apparently. Had her brow furrowed in a look of seriousness.
フェリスちゃん？
もしかして心当たりあるのか？
ひょっとしたら。
Yeah.
ひょっとしたら？
This was the soberest tone Mayuri and I had ever heard from Ferris, and we both bristled with anxiety.
その人は10年前に武者修行の旅に出ると言ったままいなくなったフェリスのお兄ちゃんにゃ。
Please no. If that guy's your brother, I would literally die. That would be the worst news I've ever received in this entire universe.
は？
フェイリスのお兄ちゃんは10年前ゲルマン流忍術をマスターすると言い残して家を飛び出していったんだにゃ。
Oh, German ninjutsu. What are you talking about, Ferris? Why? German ninjutsu? What in the world?
それがまさかこの町に戻ってくるにゃんて。あ、もしかしてお兄ちゃんは今までもフェイリスのことを陰で見守ってくれていたんじゃ。そういえば毎月メイクインに送られてくる群青色のバラ、あれはそうにゃ、群青色のバラの人はお兄ちゃんだったんだにゃ。
I will say this again. I think Ferris is probably my favorite character in a lot of ways, but I still kind of cringe a little bit when she's in full character mode, which is fine. Like, it's not that bad, honestly. It's like it's endearing once, like, when you get to know like the person behind all of this facade. But like, yeah, because like she's such a high caliber character. But this is her escape. This is her way of kind of like handling her life stresses, and I can get that, even if it does make it difficult to like imagine what having a conversation with her would be like. But in reality, like knowing the context of all of that, especially that's another reason why I'm a really big fan of Linear Phenogram. It really did a great job of helping us understand why this persona is so prevalent for her and so important to her.
マユリオ、毎月この店にはそんなものが送られてくるのか？
マユシーは見たことないにゃ。
そうか。
This was a mistake. I went looking for an answer and wound up in a nest of lying vipers. Ow! A little harsh. But I guess this was to be expected.
大変にゃ。今すぐ追いかけなきゃ。ねえ、今日な、その人はどこへ向かったにゃ。
Ferris looked nearly teary-eyed with the desperation. I should have seen this coming.
ねえ、今日待ってば。お願い、教えて。
Come on, go play along a little bit. But go with her.
それはできないのだ、フェイリス。
どうしてにゃ。
なぜな、それが奴との約束だからだ。
約束。それじゃあまさか今日のは今までそのことを知ってて黙っていたのかにゃ。ひどいにゃ。どうして今まで教えてくれなか
Dang. If she's really crying, that'd be super, super sad.
すまない、フェイリス。
マユシーは接客してくるですにゃ
It's so bad that Mayuri's even checking out. She's like, alright, bye guys, have fun. Ferris and I continued our meaningless conversation for another 10 minutes. When we'd finally finished, I placed an order. Nobody would enjoy a cafe where they had to wait 10 minutes before they placed an order. They'd run to the other way. However, I don't think the Ferris would put other customers through all this. And this place is pretty popular for the neighborhood. Especially on the weekend. I was worried I wouldn't be able to find a seat today. But looking around, there are actually a few spots open. Well, I guess it's only natural since it's the middle of the afternoon. Regardless, such trivial things don't bother me. Sure, buddy, sure. Lukako, could you tell me what sorts of things Okabe-san likes? Lukako, did you mean to text Mayuri, perhaps? Dr. P and Soft Row. I like how it's all jiggly, like a brain. And my name isn't Okabe, it's Yonen Kyoma. Man, Lukako is a lot bolder in this universe. This is actually refreshing. He's gonna be like, oh, I didn't mean to talk to you, I'm so sorry.
お待たせいたしました。ホットコーヒーブラックですにゃん。
Aww.
マユリよ。
She couldn't have brought me coffee at a better time.
何ですかにゃ？
例のあれの話だが。
What are you talking about?
例のあれって何ですかにゃ？
だから例のガジェットを買ってくれるという人物の話だ。今日は来ていないのか？
Ah.
ああ、そっか。その話か。今日はその人まだ来てないにゃ。
What if that one celebrity dude the Ferris was talking about? That'd be really weird.
そうか。
I thought I might run into him by chance, but guess this is not that easy. That was in fact the reason I came here today. But I'm afraid I'd skunked, or whatever. I guess I read skunked, but skunked. They neither of them make sense. So I asked her one more thing.
ところで、最近は忙しいのか？
ここでのお仕事もあるし、それから学校の宿題もあるし。
Dang.
それからコミマ用のコスプレ衣装も作らなきゃいけないし、すっごく忙しいかも。
Oh, Kamima, I want to go to convention so bad. Comic Giga Market, a massive otaku event held twice a year at Tokyo Big Sight. Every Kamima, thousands of artists gather to sell their creations, which range from erotic manga based on popular anime original figures, music, the games, and games. The next Kamima will be held on August 15th. I think in the main game it was held on the 13th. Kamima is a big otaku event held every summer and winter. The next one starts on the 15th and will run for 3 days. Meguri's hobby is making cosplay costumes, and it sounds like she's making a few this year. Someday, I'll do that. Maybe if I can put the costume together, maybe I'll do like a special like cosplay video. But like, I don't have any means of recording anything like that in any style. So it'll suck, but it might still be fun to show you kind of what I think I could do trying to pull off an Okabe. But again, I'd have to shave the beard. So we'll have to see. I might really want to wait until I'm actually going to a convention to do that. She's not making them for herself to wear, but for other people. But that's not what I wanted to hear.
俺が言っているのは、お前ではなくフェイリスのことだ。
フェリスちゃん？
Ferris overheard Mayuri saying her name and came toward us.
にゃににゃに？もしかしてフェイリスの話してるのかにゃ？
A little bit, yeah.
聞こえていたのか？
にゃふふ。それくらいフェイリスの能力、ヒアリングインフェルノにかかれば簡単なことだにゃ。
Nothing I would expect less of you. As she laughed, the cat ears atop her head twitched. Can those cat ears really hear things? Yeah, there's something funky about those.
それでフェイリスの何の話をしていたのかにゃ？オカリンがフェリスちゃん疲れてるんじゃないかって。
Yeah.
にゃにゃ。
I can't put my finger on why. But I felt like Ferris looked uncomfortable while we were talking earlier. And when she said she had something to do after our party the other day.
ねえ、ひょっとして今日マはフェイリスのこと心配してくれてるのかにゃ？
Yes. Yes is the answer.
心配だと
Even if it were true, I couldn't admit it. Because I am a mad scientist.
お前は何を言っているのだ。この法王隠居魔が他人の心配だと笑わせる。
Fool.
俺はただお前が弱っているそこにつけ込んで恩を売ることで一生俺の手足として使うべく算段を立てていただけだ。
Uh-huh. Sure thing, buddy. Lukaku, I'm sorry, I thought it was my mailing Mayu-chan. I'm so sorry, Kyofa-san, but thanks for answering my question. Made me super happy. Wait, what's the attachment? Yeah, attachment. Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's like into that, like he's into the anime stuff here. What is this one? Like Blood Tune the animation, huh? Is that like a real like ad or something? Betrayal after a brief moment of joy will make the sadness all the stronger. Go ahead and cry. Your tears have no effect on me, you liar.
もっと悲嘆にくれるがいい。なぜならその悲しみという感情こそがこの俺の血となり肉となり。
今日マは優しいにゃ。
Okay, we'll roll with this. I don't know why, but sure. I mean, how could you not love that face? Look at that face. She's so cute. She suddenly took my right hand. He's oh.
でも心配しなくても大丈夫にゃ。フェイリスはこの通りいつでも元気いっぱいなのにゃ。
Aww.
お前は俺の話を聞いていなかったのか。
Oh yeah, though she does have her gift, so she knows that he was lying about that. Ferris seemed unfazed and happily swung my arm. The other customers are looking at me. Oh yeah, there's the looks of death. I get the feeling their desire to murder me is increasing by the second. This isn't good. I have to do something fast. In my panic, I turn to Mayuri and ask for help.
おい、マユシーニャンニャン、お前からも何とか言ってやってくれ。
そっか。オカリンが本当は優しい人だってことフェリスちゃんが分かってくれてマユシーも嬉しいよ。
I know. Aww.
じゃあマユシーも一緒にやるにゃ。分かったにゃ。
Oh dear. Mayuri grabbed my left hand and they both kept swinging their respective arms.
にゃんにゃにゃんにゃにゃ。
It's really cute, but we really are about to be like lynched if we leave this place.
にゃんにゃにゃんにゃにゃ。
The rest of the customers are absolutely going to do us in.
にゃ。
Yeah. I grew more and more uncomfortable under the other patrons' glaring eyes. I'm fine with being conspicuous, but I don't like being made conspicuous. That was great. This game is just, it's just smile after smile. I just can't stop. I'm just so happy. I stayed at the cafe in hopes of meeting my mystery customer, but he never appeared. By the time I left, the sun had set. Now that's adorable. I returned to the lab to find Kurisu asleep on the couch. But Dara was nowhere to be seen. Which means... the development room is finally at my disposal! I like how you could see Kurisu curled up like that being adorable and be like, the lab, yes! Based on my previous experience, the phone wavelength interchange only works from noon to 6 p.m. I haven't figured out why we can only use it in that 6-hour window, but that's just how it is. Fetch. We're really not going to be able to use this thing anymore. If Mr. Braun's gone and we haven't figured out the TV's the lifter, then we're never going to be using it. I look at the clock. It's about 20 minutes to 6. If I work fast, I could do an experiment. As I passed by the sleeping Kurisu, something nagged at me. It wasn't anything particularly out of ordinary. In fact, it was something very ordinary. I'm talking about the mere pair of headphones. That's right, or at least that's what they seemed to be when Dara was wearing them yesterday. They're sitting by Kurisu right now. Perhaps Daru simply left them there? But as far as I can remember, that's not where they were yesterday afternoon. Did Kurisu borrow them from Daru? I didn't think people generally wanted to borrow other people's headphones, but maybe that's just me. Even so, Kurisu's proximity to the headphones bothered me a little bit. She'd been working on her new gadget for the past few days. Perhaps the headphones might be a part of it. At least I think they might be. What if it's like a sleep-inducing tone or something? I could see her inventing that. That'd be actually kind of nice. Just feel like, I need to sleep now. Just conk out. And if that's the case... Why would you just put them on somebody? Why was this even an idea? I made sure that nothing was coming out of the headphones and put them back in place on Kurisu's head. Why? Well, I do not get your logic, Okabe. I thought for a moment that I'd woken her as I did so, but she simply was muttering in her sleep. I breathed a sigh of relief, and stood for a minute to confirm that she was asleep. And then he's going to shake the entire place with an experiment if he actually gets to try it. Okabe, what are you doing? I don't like these noises you're making. Doesn't look like she's going to wake up. I was getting worried over nothing, meaning that I wasted my precious time when I needed it most. I don't know, man. That was pretty high priority. Darn you, assistant. She shouldn't have left something that seemed so important here in the first place. But just as I thought I should get to my work... Yep. Shh. Mayuri excitedly burst into the lab, but at the sight of Kurisu asleep on the couch, she immediately quieted herself. Mm-hmm.
気にするな。それよりどうしたのだ、マユリオ。お前今日はここに寄らず直接帰るのではなかったのか?
At least I thought I heard her say that as I left May Queen Yan Yan.
まさか、さっき言ったことをもう忘れたというのではなかろうな。いかにおバカさんがキャラとして確立しているからといって、いくらなんでもそれはひどすぎるだろう。
もう、オカリひどいよ。マユシーはね、おバカさんじゃありません。
She can be, but it's not in a bad way.
その喋り方がおバカさんだというのだ。
Though admittedly, that ditziness is part of Mayuri's charm, so she doesn't need to change a thing. Not that I'd ever tell her that.
それで?
何?
おいおい、言ったそばからそれでは本当におバカさんだと思われるぞ。何か話があってきたのだろう。
ああ、そうだったよ。ね、オカリ、もうちょっとメイクインにいればよかったのにね。
Oh, yeah?
何？それはどういうことだ？
ね、オカリンが帰った後すぐに店長さんが来たのです。
店長さんって？それはまさかガジェットを買い取ってくれるという。
Gosh darn it.
その店長さんのこと。
Look, really? Dang it. How much worse could my timing be?
どうして俺に連絡してくれなかったのだ？
だってまだお仕事中だったし、それにすぐに帰っちゃったから。
Mayuri's face fell as if she wanted to apologize. I can't rebuke a face like that.
でもね、昨日はまだどうするか考えてるみたいだったけどね、今日はちゃんと買い取ってくれるって言ってくれたんだよ。
I wonder who it was.
何？本当か？
まとめて買い取ってくれるって。
But according to Mayuri, he wanted them at lower prices than we'd listed on our website. I would decline the offer, saying, "You must be kidding, don't look down on us," but that's not an option right now. Starving men can't be picky. Seems that the buyer is going to come get the gadgets as soon as he has the chance. As long as he refills our war chest, I have no problem with that. Unless he wants the phone wave. We're not giving that up, right? Well, here comes Kurisu.
喜べマユリオ。今回のこと、我が未来ガジェット研究所の華々しい一歩となるに違いない。
オカリンってばそんなに大きな声出したら。
Here she comes. Just as Mayuri had prophesied, Kurisu began to stir. Aww.
Okabe?
She's so cute. She slowly opened her eyes and looked at me with uncertainty. Then she smiled as if a great weight had been lifted from her shoulders.
よかった。急に消えちゃうから、どこか行っちゃうのかと思った。
Wow. Sleepy Kurisu is a very honest Kurisu.
クリスティーナ？
心配させないでよね。
おい、お前は何を言っているんだ？
何って、そんなの決まって。
Yeah, yeah. Aww. Wow. Fetch, I can tell the Kurisu route will be really cute. As she said this, she slowly started to look around. It was kind of interesting to see her eyes gradually gaining focus.
もしかして私、今何か変なこと言った？
Yeah. Honestly, if I were to guess, it almost kind of sounded like you were like dreaming of the two of you having like a life together.
言っていたぞ。
嘘！なんて？
俺が急にどこかへ行くとかなんとか。
Her face suddenly tensed with nervousness.
それだけ？他に何か言ってなかった？
A little bit, but not what you apparently are thinking.
他にか。はあ、そうだな。確かこんなことも言っていたぞ。
とてもじゃないけど、私は法王院京馬様の才能にはかないません。一生京馬様の助手として精進します。
とな。
Okabe, come on, man. Come on.
嘘をつくな嘘を。そんなこと絶対に言っとらんわ。
It's true.
嘘ではない。お前も知っているだろう。人間夢の中では普段無意識に考えていることが出てしまうという話を。
Yeah, that's not gonna help though, because she's like, I was dreaming something else entirely.
つまりそれがお前の本当の気持ちなのだ、クリスティーナよ。
安心してクリスちゃん。クリスちゃんはそんなこと一言も言ってなかったよ。
Good job, Mayuri.
マユリなぜバラす？
Why would you ruin this?
オカリン、ダメだよ嘘ついちゃ。
Oh, there's a rare scowl from Mayuri. You better apologize, Okabe.
やっぱり嘘か。
Curses. My strategy to fabricate a false memory and use it to manipulate her has failed. No!
それよりごめんねクリスちゃん。うるさくしちゃったせいで起こしちゃったよね。
ああ、マユリはいいの。
そうだぞ。何も謝ることはないマユリよ。そもそもこんなところで無防備にうとうと寝るのが悪いのだ。
Sure.
あんたね、私が一体何のためにここで寝てたと思ってんだ？
助手がラボのために尽力するのは当然のことだ。
だから助手じゃないって言っとろうが。
Yep, here we go.
怒りっぽいやつだな。ちゃんとカルシウムは取っているのか？
Oh my gosh.
誰のせいだと思っとるんだ。
She yelled at me. In addition to her calcium deficiency, she must have low blood pressure when she wakes up.
たく。
Wait, does that make you grumpier? So I've got a pretty solid. I have a really consistently low blood pressure now. Like it's a newer development with all the changes I've gone through in the past year and a half. But I was always told it was fine. Like just as long as I'm not like passing out when I stand up suddenly, which hasn't really been a problem. But it definitely is like low. Like I don't know how to repeat them very well because it's been a while. But I think it's like I get something like 80 over 60 or 80 over 50. I don't know. I can't remember. It's like markedly low that like every time I get my blood pressure taken, they ask me if like that's normal. But when I checked it, it is. With all the changes that have happened, it's actually pretty like typical. Then she stopped and moved her hand slowly to her head for confirmation. Okay.
どうしたのクリスちゃん。
これなんで私の頭に？
Why is she so weirded out by that? I mean, maybe it'd be confusing, but she's acting like it's like horrifying.
そこに落ちていたからだ。
As I said this, she took her hold of her headphones with trembling hands.
落ちてたってことはまさかあんたが
yes.
そうだが
おまなんてことしてくれてんだ
What are you talking about?
なんてことって。だから俺はそのヘッドホンをつけただけだが。
ヘッドホン
She stopped in place, looking perplexed.
クリスちゃん？
ああそうねヘッドホン人が寝てる時に勝手にヘッドホンつけるなんて何考えてんのよ
What are these then? Interesting. Oh, now we're in a mystery here. What is this? This is one of her gadgets, I'm guessing, but what does it actually do? She suddenly is trying to play innocent. This could mean that my theory about those headphones was right on the money.
おいクリスティーナよ。
何
Wow, she's actually answering. Yeah, she's definitely nervous.
お前何をごまかしている？
はごまかしてる何のことかしら
You're such a bad liar.
嘘をつけ。その態度どう考えても何か隠している態度ではないか。
別に隠してなんてないわよ
No, you are. You're really bad at lying.
ならばなぜさっきあんなに慌てていたのだ？
だから慌ててないって
Mm-hmm.
さてはお前やはり新しいガジェットを。
ガジェット
そうだ新しいガジェットを。
それだ
Crap, that's not it.
ああいやじゃなくてそうなの新しいガジェットが完成したの
そうなの。
That's not what she was talking about, though.
ええそうよ
What is this? Getting that information was almost too easy. After all the trouble she went to hide it, I was hoping for something more confidential.
すごいねクリスちゃん。また新しいガジェット作ったんだね。
Come on, Okabe. It's a lie. Pick up on it.
まあそんなに大したものじゃないんだけどね
Fine. As long as she's honest, I have no complaints about her behavior.
それで新しいガジェットとはどんなものなのだ？
ちょっと待ってて今持ってくから
She stands up and heads towards the development room.
待てクリスティーナよ。
何よ
Oh wow, we've never seen her sprite over there before.
今持ってくると言ったな。ならば今持っているそれは何なのだ？
Ah.
だからヘッドホンだって言っとろうが
ガジェットではないのか？
ガジェットの12号機は全然別のものよちょっと待ってろ
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Didn't seem like Kurisu was lying. In fact, that she was holding something as she came out of the development room was proof enough of that. Then why was she acting so strangely? It's just confusing. Well, fine. I'll let it slide this time since she's completed a new gadget.
ほらこれがガジェット12号機まだ手を加えなきゃいけない部分はあるけどだいたいこんな感じね
Huh.
へえ、これが
12号機。
Interesting. Kurisu showed us a pair of ring-shaped objects about 7 or 8 centimeters in diameter. They look like the transformation bracelets kids wear when they're pretending to be their favorite TV heroes.
ねえクリス
Like
ちゃん
like the bracelets. I think that's a reference to
バカなの？
Power Rangers and what's the like original Japanese something. If I heard it, I'd probably recognize it, but I can't remember what it's called. All right. Is this Darling, you idiot?
待てまゆり。なんだそのダーリンのバカとかいう妙な名前は。
yeah. What is that?
だってね、みんなでどうするって言って決めたんだよ。オカリンだってそれでいいって言ってたのです。
What is it?
そうなのか？
I looked over Kurisu, who silently nodded.
マユシーはね、ラブラブブレスレットちゃんズがいいって言ったんだけどね。 ダルくんがダーリンのバカがいいって言ったの。
Okay, so is this kind of like a mood ring, but like an accurate one?
ちなみにクリスちゃんは
愛情測定器。
Affection measuring device.
その愛情なんとかでオカリンは
エターナルエンゲージといったところか。
Yeah, probably.
何？岡部あんたひょっとして覚えてるの？
No.
いや、俺ならばそう名付けるだろうなと思っただけだ。
なるほどね。過去が変わっても12秒は変わらずか。
Oh yeah, of course. That's what your theory proved, right? I will say that hearing the suggested names alone has given me some understanding of the function of Future Gadget number 12. 12? I don't know why I said that weird. I assume that when two people put on their respective bracelets, this measures their affection for each other. Oh, that's a dangerous tool. When I asked Kurisu and Mayuri for confirmation, they said my guess was close.
要するにここについているセンサーで体温、血圧、脈拍、発汗状態などを逐一調べて心理的な変化をモニターしてるの。
So it's kind of like a Fitbit that spies on you.
それで
So
も
like a
し片
Fitbit.
方が変な気を起こすと浮気してるってみなして電流が流れるんだよね。
That sounds terrifying.
なるほどな。それでダーリンのバカなのか。誰がつけそうな名前だ。
That does actually make a lot of sense. Future Gadget number 12, two make for a single set. The Future Gadget monitors the physical conditions of its two wearers. This includes, but is not limited to, blood pressure, pulse, and even sweat. If the device determines that one of them wants to cheat on the other, it sends an electrical shock to the user. The idea for the device came from Ferris, with Kurisu completing it. Its name and homage in the famous line used by the heroine of a certain popular 80s rom-com manga. So Ferris wanted something that would tell you if you were cheating on something? Why would she want that? That's weird.
要するに嘘発見器みたいなものだな。
Mm-hmm.
まあフェイリスさんの案だとそれだけだったんだけど、ちょっと改良させてもらったわ。
Interesting. She said this while putting one of the bands on her wrist as if to check the size.
改良？どうしてだ？
だってそれだと単に浮気調査みたいな感じで夢がないじゃない？
Right.
夢？だと？またそんな愚かなことを言っているのかお前は。
誰が愚かだ誰が？
Probably.
愚かが嫌なら頭の中がスイーツと言うしかないな。
あんた本当にいちいちムカつくわね。
It's true. He's the king of annoying people.
まあまあクリスちゃん、オカリンはそれだけクリスちゃんのことを気に入ってるってことだよ。
True, but they're both gonna be like, does not.
あのね、ちっちゃな男の子がついつい好きな子をいじめちゃう、そんな感じなんだとマユシーは思います。
Getting called out
何
early.
わけのわからんことを言うんだマユリ。俺はそんな思春期のガキみたいなことはしない。
Uh-huh. Oh, of course, he's like, holy crap.
お前も何を赤くなっている。
なってないわよ。
Like, that's one of the things that makes them so great, is like they're such in utter denial of each other. It's really funny. Oh, this is all because Mahiri had to say something weird all of a sudden. I need to change the subject fast.
それだ。これは一体どうやって使うのだ。
Crap, I just realized my camera is not on. That sucks. I hate it when I don't get to capture my face like I normally want to. I haven't done that in a while, but this has been a goofy recording, so sorry about that.
ああ、それは簡単。単に腕にはめてスイッチを入れるだけ。
腕にはめて。
Yeah. Here, I'll turn the camera on now. There we go. We're gonna get a little bit of the ending because I'm literally about to wrap up. But hello! I hate it when I do that. It doesn't happen often, but it always happens when I have a weird misalignment with my recording sessions, you know? Like, I had to split this one up. Naturally, I forgot to push the stupid little button. But on the wristband on my right wrist, that's where I usually wear things like this. Though typically I use them to seal the power of my right arm, so it won't go awry. I'm guessing is what they meant to say.
ああ、言っとくけどスイッチは押すなよ。絶対に押すな。絶対だからな。
Never push the switch. Kurisu looked desperate, so the contrary in me was tempted to turn the device on just to see what would happen, but I resisted.
しかし何もそこまで必死にならなくてもいいだろう。どうせ実験もしなければならないのではないのか。
それはそうなんだけど、その前にちょっと問題があって。
What was that?
問題？なんだそれは。
とにかく外してから話しましょう。つけたままじゃ落ち着かない。
Okay.
わかった。
I could tell that Kurisu wasn't messing around, so I made to remove the band from my right wrist.
ドゥアーギリギリセーフ
What? The door burst open and Dara rushed into the lab. Surprised by the sudden sound, Kurisu jumped in alarm. And then... Uh-oh. I could have sworn I heard a strange electronic sound.
ダルくんだ。トゥットゥルー。どうしたのそんなに慌てて。
ふぃいやー、今からニヤ生でブラチューの特番があるのをすっかり忘れてて、慌てて帰ってきたんだお。
Okay. And on that note, I think this is a good place for us to wrap up. I think there's a lot more to explore with this scene for sure, but I also feel like it's going to go on for a little while longer, and I kind of want to save it for the next episode, especially because I'm guessing it's going to have some good reactions. And frankly, I want my camera back, but I also don't want this episode being too freakishly long. But we'll have to remember next time. He has the bracelet on his wrist, she's got it on her wrist, and something just activated. So we'll get to see what that all nonsense will be about next time. But thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. It's always just a pleasure having you here. Thank you for those of you who are participating and like supporting the channel. We've been talking about it a lot, but I'm gonna probably tone it down a bit. Mostly just this idea that I want to see the channel grow in the future. I want to be able to make it happen. And so I've set up all of the stuff necessary to be able to kind of make that dream a reality, but we're at the very beginning of such a journey, so thank you for being here and supporting this story. I guess, what do you think mostly of this one? Like, I obviously you can't spoil anything for me, please don't, but if you aren't spoiled or you're just kind of curious what I'm gonna like think about, like what's gonna happen, I don't want you to tell me, but I'm curious, like, when am I gonna start finding the choices? And I'm guessing that these wrist devices might have something to do with it, so how does that all play out? It'll be really interesting to see how this is all gonna work, and who on earth knows what my first ending's gonna end up being. I know I'm gonna make sure I look up a guide for like the next two, so I get the ones I specifically want to get, but I want to see which one I get organically, and it's terrifying not knowing what the mechanics will be. Hopefully I can pass the first test and recognize it for what it is. That way I can like try and at least make a like committed choice when it comes up. But I'm sure that'll all just be ahead of us. I'm mostly just excited to be able to do this, of course. So, thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm looking forward to... Oh, go away! I need to stop these pop-ups. No! The whole screen! No! God, what a nightmare. Anyway, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel in this dumpster fire of technical problems. It just has to happen every once in a while. But we'll get it fixed, and next week we'll jump into this whole situation with a fresh pair of eyes and with a hop in our step, and I'm really gonna be excited to kind of figure out what that's all gonna be about. So until the next video, watch me up, see me in next. I'll see you there.